this is Adil. Welcome back to my channel Our Daily Doctors. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic, that is Renin Angiotensin Aldosterone system, or simply we call it a Raas system. This system is very important. It regulates the blood pressure as well as it regulates the blood volume in our circulation. Look, the normal blood pressure is 120/80. In normal blood pressure, this system is not activated. When it is activated, look, if there is any condition like hemorrhage, suppose this is your circulation, if due to any hemorrhage the blood is lost, now the volume of blood inside our systemic arteries will fall and also the pressure will fall down. Suppose the pressure falls here is 100/80. Sorry, 100/70. Now, under these circumstances, this system is activated. How it is activated, we will see. Look, here I have drawn the heart and here I have drawn the systemic circulation. This is the arch of aorta and this is the carotid system, and here I have made the carotid signs. There are specific receptors which sense the pressure, which are pressure sensing receptors, which we call baroreceptors. These baroreceptors are present in the aorta. Suppose these are the baroreceptors. Here also the baroreceptors are present in the carotid signs. When these fall in the blood pressure, these receptors are stimulated. What will happen? These receptors stimulate the nerves, cranial nerves. Look, here are the cranial nerves. From the arch of aorta, a 10th cranial nerve originates, which is vagus nerve. This vagus nerve enters into medulla. Also, from the carotid sinus, there is the origination of a cranial nerve, that is 9th cranial nerve, which we call the glossopharyngeal nerve. This nerve also enters into medulla. In medulla, these both nerves, cranial nerves, stimulate the vasomotor center. Suppose this is the vasomotor center in the medulla, and in the vasomotor center a sympathetic nervous system is activated. Now, when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, this system will give the preganglionic sympathetic fibers. Now, there will be a ganglion, then there is the postganglionic sympathetic fiber. Now, here I have drawn the postganglionic sympathetic fiber. Where it will go? It goes to various sides. Here I will show only the one side. Look, it goes to juxtaglomerular cells. It releases the substance that's called non-epinephrine. Here it releases the non-epinephrine. This non-epinephrine stimulates the receptors which are present on the juxtaglomerular cells. These are the juxtaglomerular cells. This receptor is beta-1 adrenergic receptor. When this receptor is stimulated, these juxtaglomerular cells release a substance that is called renin. This is the one way by which the renin is released. Look, here I have mentioned the juxtaglomerular cells. There are two terms, that is juxtaglomerular cells and juxtaglomerular apparatus. These two terms are totally different. Look, here I will teach you what is the difference between the juxtaglomerular cells and juxtaglomerular apparatus. Look, here these cells, juxtaglomerular cells, are actually located at arteriolar smooth muscles, and these cells, these are called macula densa. These are very dense cells and columnar in shape, and between them there is a connective tissue, or which we call the Lassis cells. This is the juxtaglomerular cell. Juxtaglomerular apparatus consists of three parts, that is juxtaglomerular cells and the Lassis cells and the macula densa. This was regarding the juxtaglomerular apparatus. In the juxtaglomerular apparatus, the juxtaglomerular cells release the renin. This was the one way by which the renin is released. Now we will see the another way by which the renin is released. Look, the another way by which the renin is released, when there is fall in the blood pressure, this is the systemic arteriole. When there is fall in the blood pressure, these are juxtaglomerular cells. On the juxtaglomerular cells, there are also presence of baroreceptors. When there is fall in BP, these baroreceptors are stimulated. In turn, what will happen? They will release the renin. This is the another way by which renin is released. Look at the another way by which renin is released. Normally, the cardiac output, the normal cardiac output is 5 liters. What is cardiac output? Cardiac output is the amount of blood ejected by the left ventricle into the aorta per minute. The amount of blood ejected by the left ventricle in the systemic circulation in 1 minute. That's called the cardiac output. The normal cardiac output is 5 liters, and in the 5 liters, the 1 liter of blood is supplied to the kidney. 1 liter of blood is supplied to kidney. Pause. Now, in the 1 liter of blood, suppose if in 1 liter of blood there are 10 sodium ions. Now, if there is fall in the blood pressure, then 1 liter of blood cannot be supplied to the kidneys. Suppose maybe half liter of blood is supplied to kidneys. Now, how many sodium ions will be there? Suppose there will be 5 sodium ions. 5 sodium ions. Normally, through the glomerular filtration, suppose if 10 sodium ions are filtered in 1 liter of blood, these 10 sodium ions will reach to the macula densa normally. And if due to some conditions blood pressure falls, the half liter of blood will be supplied to kidney, and the 5 sodium ions, these 5 sodium ions will reach to macula densa. What the macula densa will do? The macula densa sense the less concentration of sodium in the tubules. What it will do? It stimulates the juxtaglomerular cells. These juxtaglomerular cells in turn release the renin. This is the another way by which the renin is released. Now, what is renin? Renin is not a hormone. It is an enzyme. What it will do? Look. Let me rub this. Now suppose this is renin here. Renin is an enzyme. From the liver, these are the hepatocytes. Hepatocytes always release a substance in the circulation. That's called angiotensinogen. Angiotensinogen itself indicates that it is inactive substance. Now, suppose here is angiotensinogen. This renin is an enzyme. It will act on the angiotensinogen, and this angiotensinogen is converted into angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 by the action of renin. Now, this angiotensin 1 will go through the veins and will reach to right atrium. From then right ventricle. From the right ventricle, it will go to pulmonary circulation. Now, suppose this is your angiotensin 1 here. These are the endothelial cells which line the microcirculation of pulmonary system. These endothelial cells present an enzyme which converts the angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. Suppose this is angiotensin 2. On the surfaces of the endothelial cells, there is an enzyme which converts the angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. This enzyme is called angiotensin convertase enzyme, ACE. This enzyme is not intracellular enzyme. This is present on the endothelial cells. Another function of ACE is it inactivates a substance which is vasodilator. That is called bradykinin. Bradykinin is a vasodilator. It inactivates it. We have no need of a vasodilator. If there is vasodilation, the blood pressure will fall. That's why we have no need of this. That's why this ACE inactivates bradykinin. Now the last product is angiotensin 2. Now we will see this is the main substance which we actually need, which will help us to maintain the blood pressure, which will help us to regulate the blood volume. Now, what are the functions of angiotensin 2? Look. There are the receptors present on the arteriolar smooth muscles. These are the arterioles. There are the smooth muscles. Suppose I have mentioned in the black. There are the receptors for the angiotensin second. This is the angiotensin. Angiotensin 2 receptors are also present on the venular smooth muscles. These are the venules. On them there is the presence of angiotensin 2 receptors. When the angiotensin 2 will bind to these receptors, what will happen? There is a vasoconstriction. Due to vasoconstriction, there will be more blood flow. The pressure will be more. Like suppose if you will take a pipe, through pipe water enters. If you will press the pipe, the pressure inside the pipe will increase and the water flow will also increase. Same condition if you will apply here. If you will suppose take an artery, this is an artery. If you will constrict it, suppose if you will constrict it, the blood flow from here to here will increase. Same condition if you will apply here. If this vessel constricts, here also it constricts, the blood flow through the veins will increase. When the venous return will increase, the more blood flow will reach to the right atrium, then right ventricle, then through the pulmonary circulation, then to the left atrium, then left ventricle. Then it means the more blood will be present in the left ventricle. When there is more blood in left ventricle, we can say there will be more cardiac output. At last, this blood pressure can be maintained to normal position. Now, another condition, this angiotensin 2 also stimulates the angiotensin 2 receptors which are present on the zona glomerulosa. Here I will show. Here pause. Suppose this is the kidney. On the kidney there are glands which are called suprarenal glands or adrenal glands. Let me draw this adrenal gland bigger. This adrenal gland has two parts. That is, inner part is called adrenal medulla, then the outer part is called adrenal cortex. This adrenal cortex has three zones. It has three zones. You can remember by G, F, R. This is a mnemonic. G, F, R. This is not a glomerular filtration rate. It's just mnemonic. Look. Here are three zones. Suppose the first zone, second zone, and third zone. The first zone is called zona glomerulosa, and then second zone is called zona fasciculata, and the third zone is called zona reticulosa. This outer zone, that is zona glomerulosa. Let me show you this here. This is zona glomerulosa. On the zona glomerulosa, there are the receptors for angiotensin second. This is the receptor for the angiotensin second. Now, angiotensin 2 will come here and bind. Now the receptor is activated. What will happen? This zona glomerulosa releases a hormone that is called aldosterone. This zona glomerulosa will release a hormone that is called aldosterone. What it will do? This aldosterone go to the principal cells of nephron. These are the principal cells of nephron, and it will act on it. And what will happen? It helps to reabsorb the sodium and water from the tubule. It will reabsorb the sodium. It will help to reabsorb the sodium and water. It also loses the potassium, but the main action which is needed here, that it helps to reabsorb the sodium and water into the circulation. Now, due to the sodium and water, the blood volume will increase, and when there is increase in the blood volume, then there will be increased venous return to the heart. Then eventually more blood will be present in the left ventricle, and the left ventricle will eject a normal cardiac output. This is the another way by which the cardiac output or blood pressure is maintained. Now, another point, that this angiotensin second goes to the hypothalamus and stimulates some receptors in the hypothalamus. You will see, if the patient is having decreased blood pressure, he will feel thirst. Here angiotensin 2 stimulates the thirst centers in the hypothalamus. That is why there is a thirst also in the decreased blood pressure. Also, another point, that angiotensin 2 also stimulates the receptors in the hypothalamus, and there will be release of a hormone that is ADH, antidiuretic hormone, that is also called vasopressin. This vasopressin goes to posterior pituitary. From posterior pituitary, suppose this is the anterior pituitary, this is the posterior pituitary. From the hypothalamus, this vasopressin will enter into the posterior pituitary. From the posterior pituitary, this hormone will be secreted. What it will do? This vasopressin or ADH, it goes to the last part of the nephron and stimulate the tubular cells. What it will do? It help to reabsorb. The water, and this water will enter again into the systemic circulation. Now again, by this way, the blood volume is increased. This is the normal physiology of Raas system, how the blood pressure or blood volume is maintained. If there is long-term activation of this system, this is pathological condition. Long-term activation of this system can result in various severe conditions. So, my next video will be on pharmacology of Raas system, and my upcoming videos will be on cardiovascular system pharmacology. Hope you understood well this topic. See you next video. Bye.